name's Mike Avery. I've been diabetic for 20 years. I'm 28 years old now. I come from Los Angeles, California. My dad started me skiing when I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and of course I wasn't diabetic at the time. I developed a passion for it, I think early, like most of us do. I found it was a lot of fun, and I love the extreme environments. I love being diabetic and challenging myself. I was 8 years old, so I couldn't just really say to my parents I recognize these signs for diabetes, but one day we were driving along the road and I said, "Hey Mom, you know those mirrors with the fuzzy edges?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Everything looks like that." And she went, "Okay," and slammed on the brakes in the middle of the street. We turned around right there, ran into the emergency, like urgent care office basically, I guess you'd call it a clinic. And the doctor took one look at me, didn't even, poke me with anything and said, "Oh, he's diabetic." The fun part was that I was given an injection of insulin to lower my blood sugar, although no one ever said, "Hey, he's got to eat after this." So we went to pick up my next dose of insulin, or my bottle or my shot, and I started going low for the first time and hadn't experienced that yet. So we frantically called the doctor, and that was my first real insight into what being a diabetic was. My father's a helicopter pilot. He's friends with other helicopter pilots. One of them has a son that was diagnosed a few years ago. A couple years went by and his son ended up going to riding on insulin. I found out that I was working as ski patrol at a resort that they were going to, and I thought, well, I'd be certainly remiss if I didn't start to give back, or at least see what it's like to be on the other side of this. So I showed up, I did my volunteer day, listened to Sean's story, met children from 8 to 16, some who had still gone to the camp that I went to as a kid 15 years before, and it struck a very big chord with me. And now that I've found it and been invited to be part of this amazing group, I don't think I'll ever leave.